I'm Shara, and you're watching Fairy Dreams of Fiber. And I don't know if you can hear the noise behind me, but my husband is assembling a cord maker right now, so he's got to run the drill. And I'm not going to tell him to stop. He's too excited about filling an order. So I was going to post this yesterday, Friday. I had every intention of getting this posted early. And then today came, and that's not how the world went. Our morning plans got shifted. It was really snowy last night, so my folks decided to stay at home and not come out for breakfast. So I let my husband sleep in, and I just made us breakfast instead, which was really nice. I got to spend some time with my brother. We watched anime on Disney Plus and Percy Jackson and some episodes of Buffy. And then my husband and I had plans to see some friends tonight and play a game and have dinner. So we went over to their house and did that. And that was really a lovely time. But I didn't do any knitting really today, hardly at all. And I just needed a lazy day after a very busy Christmas. So I do want to show you. I did get some footage, but we have our first very successful creamy attempts. This is a blueberry ice cream. I am not going to give you a recipe because this didn't work the first 2 times. This is try number 3. We need to go grocery shopping and get some ingredients that the recipes actually call for, and then work our way through the books as we figure out what the influencers say tastes good versus what actually tastes good. How much sugar do we really need? How much sugar do we really not need? What's reasonable substitute? So we'll work on that. But I'm very pleased. This is here. I'll actually eat it. Well. Has actually really delicious blueberry ice cream. Kind of like what I remember getting at local ice cream places, and not like blueberry from, a box, I guess. There's a little bit of an icy texture in it. I probably could have run it through the respin, but it was really smooth when I pulled it out, so I didn't really want to. But I am very pleased. This is really good. And if I can replicate this with less sugar and maybe some protein powder, I can have ice cream for breakfast and be good for me. And I use real blueberries, like frozen blueberries for this, so that's one of the reasons the color is quite vivid. I don't know how much is going to show up on the camera. I'm not sitting in the best light, but waste time figuring out the best light or get on and record a podcast to share with y'all. I decided to go for that. Try not to get blueberry all over my new sweatshirt. Anyway, so I did have a fair bit of knitting last night. Like I said, we sat down at the couch and I edited video, which took me a lot longer than I thought it would, but I also worked on a project. So I'll start by showing you the original. I'm actually unknitting this into the new project. So this is the old project. This is a very chunky beret. I found the pattern from an old, I think it was Vogue Knitting. It's on Ravelry, but I don't think the pattern's available anymore. It was in my library, so it was a Vogue Knitting magazine that I have in my stash somewhere. So I was able to hunt that down, and when I found the pattern, I went ahead and put it into Google Docs so I could reference it again because it worked up really fast. I think I made the hat in about 2.5-3 hours. And that made me really happy. And I gave it to my pastor for Pastor Appreciation Month, and she loved it, which was super cool. So I was very excited. This was the pattern on it. It had these cables, these simple little crossover cables. I think it's a 2x2 cable. No, it's a 1x1 cable, so it's a travel cable. I have realized that I don't enjoy making cables in projects. I mean, I love the way cables look, and the brioche cables, oh, those are so fun. But cables like this get frustrating for me because I lose track of where I am in the pattern really easily. I don't know if that's due to the way I knit or just the way my brain works, but I find it frustrating. So when I was on the hunt after I gave my pastor the hat, she very sweetly was like, do you think maybe you make me a scarf to match? So of course I have to make my pastor a scarf to match. You don't refuse your pastor something like that when she asks you so nicely. So, but I didn't want to do any more of those cables. And I tried. I bought yarn. It took me a little while to find a matching yarn because I got the original yarn at Rhinebeck like 3 or 4 years ago. And the vendor doesn't sell there anymore. So I was really bummed. But I found a really good color match at my local Michael's, which is one of 2 big box craft stores that's left. I am very fortunate. I have 2 small, like locally owned yarn stores in the Greater Rochester area, and then at least like 3 within maybe an hour or 2 drive from here. But I also was thinking about the fact that I'd like to make this something that I could offer people, because people keep asking if I would I be willing to knit them something. So I wanted something bulky. So I ended up finding this pattern. I will link the pattern down below. I can't remember what the name of the website is off the top of my head, but the pattern is called the Wainscot Scarf. And I will definitely put a link in the description box. It's a really lovely 4-stitch repeat, and it's knit like you knit this pattern on one side and then you turn it around and you knit it exactly the same on the other side, and so it's fully reversible. And the gray is not showing up the best in this light, but you can kind of see it's got that beautiful stockinette stitch with the garter in between, and then when you flip it over, you've got that beautiful stockinette with the garter stitch in between. And I love the simplicity of that repeat. It was so appealing. So because I wasn't so happy with those cables, I decided to convert that into the bulky beret. So the same beret shape, I'm following the pattern as I found it, but I've converted the knitting pattern. Now because I'm knitting the hat in the round, you don't get to do the same exact thing every row, but I figured out how to reverse it. So if I figure out the logistics of writing it down in a useful way, I'll try to share it somewhere. But I'd want to talk to the designer of this pattern and just make sure she was okay with that, because I didn't write that, she did. But I love it. So super stoked about getting this project going. Somebody asked me for this shortly after that. I gave that hat to my pastor, and that was back in October, and it's now, well, almost January, so I was really looking forward to getting this out the door. So I will try to post some footage of that when we're done with the chit chat bit. Oh, I wanted to tell you what my friend gave me for Christmas this year. She was really nervous about our deadline. Like, we were meeting after Christmas. I, to be fair, have not had a chance to start her present. I know what I'm going to gift her, but I just didn't have enough time. So I haven't started her present, but she was very excited about giving me mine. And it was a surprise. We were supposed to meet like mid-January, and we did not, because she gave me hers tonight. I don't have it within reaching distance of me, but I will show it to you on tomorrow's vlog. But she wrote me a fairy tale, and I love fairy tales. I've been a fan of fairy tales since I was a very little girl. I think it connected me to my Irish grandmother. who also knit. And I've just always been really fascinated with fairy tales, the redemption arcs. There's all kinds of stuff to that. Maybe I'll talk about that someday. And you might have guessed that from the way I named the channel. Fairy Dreams has been a moniker I've been using for, oh gosh, a really long time. I think high school. So that fairy tale was just really wonderful. And then my friend's also a crochet artist, and she made me an amigurumi doll that matches the fairy tale that goes with it. So I'll show you all that tomorrow, but super excited. I just thought that was such a sweet present. So I hope she likes what I give her. You might hear more about that this week, since I'll probably try to get it done this week. You can't tell her. Promise. Okay, so I leave you with some quiet knitting and watching anime video. And you can see how I knit. I might talk about that more in a future podcast, but I guess if you're watching really closely and you enjoy watching really closely, you'll see that I purl a little differently. I knit combination, so I apparently knit continental and I purl Eastern. And if that means anything to you, that's great. And if it doesn't, I'm sure we'll talk about it at a later time. All right. So it was lovely to catch up with you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the 3rd or 4th Post Vlogmas day. However, yeah. We're already there. All right. Bye for now.